Hi, it's the Travelling Comic here, and welcome back to my channel. Well, today I'm still on the beautiful Oceania Sirena cruise ship, and we've arrived in the Orkney Islands, which is an archipelago off the very northern coast of Scotland. Our port of call today is Kirkwall, and I'm about shortly to join the passengers, jump into a shuttle bus and head into town. I think there's one or two things that I would really like to show you in Kirkwall. And if you think that's something that you'd like to see, well, keep watching. Well, hello and welcome ashore here now in Kirkwall. And look, I've got crib notes with me because sometimes I give information, I read it up and then I try to commit it to memory, and inevitably sometimes I get it wrong. And the keyboard warriors come on and say, William, you were wrong, you were wrong, you were wrong. So anyway, we're in Kirkwall, our port of call for today. It's the largest town in Orkney. And as I said earlier on, the Orkney is an archipelago to the north of mainland Scotland, okay? Population in Kirkwall, the last time the census was taken, which was in 2022, was 10,100 people. I'm sure it has increased since 2022 by some, maybe decreased, I don't know. If you want an exact spot of where it is, we're 210 miles north of Edinburgh, 528 miles from London. The first mention of Kirkwall was as far back as 1046. Way before any of you people were born. I think. I'm not sure what age my oldest viewer is. Anyway, Kirkwall itself is on the north coast of mainland Orkney, and Scapa Flow, yes, there's something that'll ring a bell with some people. Scapa Flow is about 1.5 miles south. The economy here is helped by tourism. Over 140 cruise ships come into Kirkwall a year, and I'm one of them. But anyway, let's go and take a walk. I don't know if all the passengers that leave the ships spend money on Superdrug, but anyway, let's go and take a walk around Kirkwall and let you see some other bits and pieces that I know you'll be interested in seeing. Okay? Right. I'll grab my bag and we'll go. Okay. Now, on my little walkabouts, I often come across little things that, well, if I wasn't making these videos, I probably wouldn't pay much attention to. But I'm standing at the moment at the birthplace of Malcolm Lang. He was a historian between 1762 and 1818. How I know that is I'm reading it up from the plaque on the wall. It also was the birthplace of Samuel Lang, who was a travel writer and a translator. Now, their father, okay, Robert Lang, who lived from 1722 to 1803, planted a big tree outside the house. And there is that big tree. I'll swing this round for you. There's the big tree that was planted way back then. There's how I know that plaque. There's the house, okay. Now, obviously to keep the tree standing up in recent years, they've put a metal insert into it. Those of you that are a certain age and have got, well, artificial hips, that's probably what it looks like. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. It's about 11 or 12 degrees here. And the last time I was here, it was the middle of the summer and it was glorious. But however, it's dry, and that's going to aid and abet this little video. Now, I've just happened upon some Highland dancing for you. I wish I could say I put it on especially for you. I'll just, if you can see that. Now, dominating the centre and the main building that you'll see when you come into Kirkwall is, of course, St Magnus Cathedral. St Magnus's Cathedral, right behind me here, which is on the steps of which the children are doing that Highland dancing. It's the oldest cathedral in Scotland, and not only is it the oldest cathedral, it's the most northerly cathedral in the whole of the United Kingdom. I'm glad I've got my notes. Now, it is Church of Scotland denomination, but it's not owned by the church, but by the borough of Kirkwall themselves, and that's under a decree of King James III of Scotland. It has its own dungeon, and during the years of when people were persecuted for witchcraft, the trials were held inside the church. Now, if I can get inside, I'll take you inside. It depends what's happening there over at the steps. But anyway, we're at St Magnus Cathedral, Kirkwall. Now, just across from the cathedral is the ruins of the Bishop's Palace and the Earl's Palace, destroyed in a siege in 1614, and, well, they're now in ruins. But that doesn't mean that we can't go in and explore. And I want to bring you in now to the, I think it's the Earl's Palace I'm bringing you into. I'm bringing you into one of them. When we get closer, I'll confirm that if I've got that wrong. But I know it's worth seeing. I know all the good spots in Kirkwall to bring you to, so that when you arrive here, you can head straight for them. Come on. And just to put that in perspective, there's the cathedral. Across the road, there's one of the ruins. And here's the other one. Let's go in. Well, I'll have to scrap that bit. I can't bring you in. Because we're in winter time. Obviously the winter hours, and it's closed. And I have a confession to make. I'll let you, see, and I can't get in there now. Let me just tell you this. When I was here the last time in the summer, I did go in there. I had my whole Insta360 camera. I was in the corridors, there is an ante room where guests would have waited before they were brought into the grand ballroom. And I referred to that as a bit like being a comedy show where you were waiting backstage and then going on to the stage. Up into the bedroom, which is up there. But anyway, what did William do? I went back to the ship. I edited the whole video. Very, very impressed with it. And then by mistake, I hit the delete button and deleted everything. And I thought to myself, oh, don't worry, William. You're coming back to Kirkwall in October and you can do it all again. Well, I've done some of it, but I can't do that bit. So all I can do is apologize. And I promise that if I'm ever back here, I'll specifically bring you inside the Earl's Palace and let you see. Sorry about that. Anyway, back into town. And this one is the Bishop's Palace. I'm really sorry I can't bring you in. But look, there's a promise. When I come back, I will. Now this building that you see behind me here is the original Carnegie Library. It was opened in 1906 by Andrew Carnegie, and it was the most northerly library in the United Kingdom. It subsequently closed, and there's a new library has been built elsewhere in the town, a more modern building. But I think that one's impressive. I'll swing it around and let you see it up close. I like old buildings like that, you see. Reminds me of the Carnegie Library, or the public library in Lurgan, which is in Carnegie Street, named after Carnegie. I like that. Now, I have walked past this Indian restaurant here on a number of times when I've been in Orkney, and I never noticed that little plaque. Do you know what that little plaque says? That this used to be called William Scully's Ship Inn. So what? Well, I'll tell you what, so what. In there, Sir Walter Scott died on the 12th of August, 1814, during a visit here to Orkney and Shetland with the commissioners of the Northern Lighthouses. Eh? Sir Walter Scott had an Indian. No, it wasn't. Back then, it was William Scully's Ship Inn. Isn't that interesting? So, I'm walking along the same path that he walked along. Oh, I love bringing you these little useless tidbits. But that's what these, you see, listen, that's what these YouTube videos that I'm doing, it's all about. It is, what can you do in these ports that the ship comes into if you're not going on a designated ship's tour. If you've just a few hours to spend and you want to do your own thing, well, my wee videos, that's what it's about, just taking a walk about. And if you do come here, it's easy to get here, you know, because there's loads of ferries from the mainland. And there's also an airport. I know that because 3 years ago now, probably, I flew in here to join a ship. And I remember it was very, very foggy. And we had to circle and circle and circle. It was a little prop plane, propellers. And we circled, I don't know, for maybe 30, 35 minutes. And I could see the big St. Magnus Cathedral and all. And then it would be enveloped in fog, but it was very, very foggy. And then the pilot came on and he said, ladies and gentlemen, if the fog doesn't clear, and we're hoping that it might, enough to let us land, but if it doesn't, we're going to have to go back to Aberdeen. I think it was Aberdeen I was flying from. And I'd already missed a connecting flight, and they'd put me on another one. And I was thinking, oh, dear sakes. But the fog miraculously cleared, and down we went. When I say down we went, I mean we landed perfectly. Now, I've just seen another one of these plaques. Oh, let's do a walk around. I don't know if you can see the ship that I'm on. Let me try and find it for you. It's out there somewhere. Is that it? No, it's not. It's away in the distance. Anyway, this building, I'll flick it round, hold on. This building, at the moment it would appear to house the RNLI lifeboat. No, they're having a coffee morning in there today. That's the Orkney Sailing Club, okay? But it used to be, it was known as the Gurnell. Gurnell. Now, I'm not educated in the history of here. I'm just merely reading this out to you. It was the 17th century store for grain rents of the Earldom estate. So the grain drying kiln on this site. So they brought the grain to dry it there, and that was demolished in 1933. And cargoes were landed and shipped onto the corn ships opposite. So the ships came in there, the corn ships. And the stuff that was dried in there was brought across. Honestly, the info I'm giving, it's very, very windy here. It's very, very windy here. And if you're not getting the blast, then this DJI 2 mic is doing its job. I'm not sponsored by DJI, but if you are making videos and you want a microphone that deals with the wind, seriously, go for the DJI 2 mic. Now, another museum, and I've walked around this way purposely, another museum that they have here in Orkney. Flick this around. You don't want to see those apartment blocks behind me. Hold on. Is this, zoom out, it's the Orkney Wireless Museum. It has a unique collection of domestic radios from the earliest days, featuring wartime radio at Scapa Flow, exhibits from RAF, Army and Navy defences, and maps and charts and wartime documents. But like everything else, this time of the year it's closed. I think, in actual fact, we are the last cruise ship coming in here this year. There's something you don't see very often now. An old red telephone box that actually is a telephone box, as in there is a telephone in it that's working. It's interesting, eh? Now this is Parliament Close. And the Scottish Parliament actually met here in 1540 during the visit of King James V. In there. Oh, zoom, there you go. Who knew Kirkwall was steeped in so much history? I'm not sure what we have here. Part of Halloween celebrations, I assume. I would like, hit the drum for me. It's brilliant, isn't it? I love this. The unexpected, tales of the unexpected. Can anybody remember the music for that? I know today hasn't gone exactly as I expected because I really wanted to bring you into those ruins. But however, I hope that there is something that has made you enjoy the video. And if there is, you know what to do. You hit the thumbs up to show that you like it. And most importantly, please hit the subscribe button. Heavy rain is forecast for this afternoon. It's starting to spit now. And that means I'll finish the video here and I'll head back to the ship. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.